Hey guys, welcome back to Ladies of Lavender. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and like to join the Ladies of Lavender family. So for today's video, we are going to talk about sports on your period.
Okay, so we're going to start this video first answering some questions that you guys had and then moving on to some personal advice and stories.
So first we wanted to tell you guys what sports we have played and what sports we currently play. So I played volleyball for probably 2 years, but I took a lot of lessons before that. And this year I'm actually going to try out for the track team. Not cross country. No.
Don't do cross country.
No, not going to do that, but I'm going to maybe do track.
So I've been doing martial arts for about 10 years now. I take karate and taekwondo mainly, but I also specialize in aikido, judo, and iaido. And again, I've been doing that for about 10 years, and I also teach classes as well, and I do women's self-defense courses. So I also do indoor and outdoor track, as well as cross country, and I've done those two for about 4 years now.
So we're now going to get into answering y'all's questions. Okay, so the first question is, are there healthy ways to reduce flow? Having a heavy one during a game sucks. Yes, that's true. So vitamin C supplements and ginger supplements will help your flow naturally become lighter. I don't know exactly the terminology for that, but you should definitely try that out. Also, hydration is really important.
So the next question is, do I have to wear a tampon while playing sports? And the answer is absolutely not. There are tons of different options out there for you to wear. So I've already told you guys in another video that I never wear tampons. I always use pads. And one of the things that I do is I'll wear like a pair of spandex under whatever uniform I'm wearing, just for a bit of extra protection and comfort.
There are a bunch of other options, as Arden just said, and one of those options are period underwear. So period underwear is basically something where you don't have to wear any other period product and you wear it just like normal underwear. So the period underwear that we purchased is from Thinx, and so they have a sale going on, and so the period underwear is about like $30, and you also have an option of buying multiple pairs of underwear at a very small price. So I would go check that out if you're interested in using period underwear instead of having to wear tampons or pads. So the other option is, of course, a menstrual cup, and you guys know this is my favorite period product, and it's the one that I always use. I used to always use tampons, but now I like to use menstrual cups. And the other really great thing about menstrual cups is that they're reusable, so you don't have to worry about carrying extra pads, tampons, stuff like that, or even period underwear, because period underwear is reusable, but once it's used, you have to wash it before you can use it again. So menstrual cups are really great because all you have to do is dump out the blood into the toilet, rinse it out, and you're good to go for another 12 hours. So I would definitely recommend that to you if you have to go to like a what is it called when you
like a
tournament or something, that you're spending hours and you might not have time to necessarily go to the bathroom and quickly change a tampon. These last for 12 hours. The next question is, what do I do if I start my period during practice?
So the first thing I would recommend, it sounds kind of cliche, but having a trusted adult who you know you'd be comfortable with going to if something like that were to happen, if you can, finding someone like that. And then I would also recommend having, if you don't have some sort of period product, always having an extra pair of shorts, an extra pair of underwear with you is always a good thing to have.
And if you don't have that option, you can always go into the bathroom and wrap toilet paper around your underwear, or even taking your sock and using it as a temporary pad. So we recommend having a period kit with pads, tampons, any period product that you are comfortable using. You want to have an extra because you know you could have a friend who also experiences that and needs to borrow something, and you never know what they're comfortable using. So also pack panty liners, because I know that those are sometimes very helpful when exercising, and have like wipes, deodorant, hair ties, anything like that that you could use and might need to use in an emergency.
The next question is, what do I do if I have to wear white shorts during practice? Now, I relate to this on an astronomical level because for martial arts, I have to wear an all-white outfit all the time. So It can be very nerve-wracking to have to wear all white, and there are several things that you can do to help prevent a leak. So for me, because my uniform is so thick, I can wear any color spandex that I want. As I mentioned earlier, I do that quite a lot just to be safe. And it's kind of strange, I know, but when I was younger, I would often wear several pairs of underwear just in case something were to happen. So I wear maxi pads, and I always buy the ones that have wings just because I'm doing martial arts, and so I'm kicking and moving around a lot, so I want a product that's going to stay in place.
Yeah, and give your underwear that extra protection as well, and make sure that nothing gets where it's not supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
So if you play soccer and you have to wear, you know, those like really sheer white shorts, I know some of our friends have to wear those. I would still go with like some kind of spandex like Arden uses, but maybe try to find white or gray. But I think everything that she mentioned is probably a good idea still for that. But again, I would go with spandex, especially for the sheer shorts. So the next question is, how do I keep my pad from showing if I'm wearing tight shorts? So I also can relate to this, like Arden could relate to the white clothes. I did volleyball, like I said, for 2 years, and I didn't always wear tampons. I would sometimes wear pads, and some of them would be maxi pads. And I have to say, there's no easy way around it, because if you're doing volleyball, you have to wear those really short booty shorts, and they're really tight. But I would say if you really don't want anyone to see that you're wearing a pad, I would experiment with tampons or menstrual cups or period underwear, because it's genuinely really hard to not show a maxi pad. It would be easier if you were wearing an ultra thin because they're really thin, but try experimenting a little bit. Okay, so the last question is, do you have any funny stories? You bet we do.
Okay, so for those of you that do not know what judo and jiu-jitsu is, it is a grappling art, and it involves a lot of rolling around on the floor, pinning, and getting up close and personal space is not something that judo artists are familiar with. So martial arts is a male-dominated sport, and so I am often the only female in my class, and most of the guys are a lot older too. And there was a class where we were doing some judo matches, which is called rondori, and this guy and I were moving around, and I got my period right, like I knew, like the horror that came over me.
Like just like in that second.
Yeah, I knew immediately, and I remember thinking, oh my god, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna make an excuse to get out of here? And I have to say, I really did not know what to do. I stopped the match, and I told the guy that I needed to go use the restroom. And so I quickly ran across. Thankfully, I had a pad with me. I always keep one for emergencies, and I ran across our driveway to the bathroom to change, and I came back. So he and I again started up the match, and as I got back, he proceeds to look at me and say, "It's all right, I have a daughter, you didn't have to lie about having to go to the bathroom." And I was so mortified. My face was like bright red, but it's kind of funny looking back because he was just so nonchalant about it. He didn't care, he wasn't like awkward about it, but it was very awkward for me.
So I have a story that's not necessarily funny, but it was really stupid. I went to a volleyball tournament one summer, and I was on my period, and I brought only one pad because I was stupid. Only brought one, no tampons, nothing else, just one pad. And I have a problem with like pad wings. Like I never get them to like fold over correctly, and something happened, and the wing didn't go over the underwear and stuck to the bottom of the pad, and that like kept it from sticking to the underwear, and so like the pad would like fold over. It was horrible, and so I had to take the pad off, and I had nothing else. And the other thing you should know is that girls at volleyball tournaments are not there to make friends. They're there to crush you. So of course no one was willing to give me a pad or a tampon, so I had to just use toilet paper and hope for the best after like 6 hours. And thank God I was wearing tight black volleyball shorts because they were black, and so like no one could tell, but
the horror.
So we wanted to take a minute to talk to you guys about period taboos and how even to this day girls are really uncomfortable with their periods. And you know, we know because we grew up in a time where it was still like that, and if you got your period, it was like you could not talk about it, and it just was really bad. And we wanted to talk to you guys about addressing it and trying to make yourself more comfortable with it. And that's why we started this YouTube channel, to encourage girls to love their period and accept it and realize that there's so many good things. Like, your body is so incredible, and you don't need to be uncomfortable or think that you're disgusting or dirty just because you bleed every month.
Yeah, so as I've mentioned several times in this video, martial arts is a male-dominated sport. 90% of the time, I'm either the only female or one of one or two. And so it was always like my biggest fear that I would get my period during practice. Again, I'm wearing all white and I'm surrounded by all these males. And it was truly like I would get anxiety about it, because I would have nightmares about it, because it was just such a taboo thing. It was disgusting to them. They never wanted to speak about it. I was taught from a young age, don't talk about that stuff. You should keep it quiet. And that's a really bad mindset to be in. It was making me miserable. And so I wanted to talk about how there have been several coaches in my life who have not outright spoken about it, but have made period products as accessible to me as they possibly can. My first employer, he has always been very kind about it. When he restocks the bathrooms, he will legitimately go to the store and buy products that he knows I might need and has them on hand just in case. And I think if more men could be like that and could be accepting of periods and girls and could see that a lot of us are terrified of our periods and think it's horrible and disgusting, I think a lot of young girls would be a lot happier with their bodies and could see the good that can come out of it.
A story that we have talked about that's really inspiring is the woman who was on her period and ran the whole Boston Marathon without a tampon or pad. And I'm pretty sure it was the Boston Marathon, but I'm not completely sure. And I'll put her name somewhere on the screen. So this woman gets up the day of the race and she's realized that she's had her period, and she realized that she couldn't run very well with the tampon because you have to change the tampon after, like, for some people it's 4 hours. And she didn't want to wear a pad because pads can chafe really badly, and so she just decided to go without period products. And at the end of the race, there was blood just like all the way down her legs. And she realized that that was the moment that she wasn't embarrassed of having a period anymore. So that's it for today's video. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Ladies of Lavender. We post every single week and we give you guys a heads up on what video we're gonna post for that week. And we're also starting to do more participation stuff. So we'll get you guys to ask questions for our Let's Talk About It series. And you probably already noticed that we were answering y'all's questions. So if you want a chance to ask a question for a video, make sure to follow us on Instagram.
So if you have any period questions of your own, feel free to DM us on Instagram. You could also shoot us an email at ladiesoflavender20@gmail.com. Or you could leave a comment down below and we'd love to answer you guys' questions.
Okay, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.